A student's overview of the Ageless wisdom was carefully compiled from the following books by Alice A. Bailey. A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. Esoteric Psychology, Volumes 1 and 2. Esoteric Healing. Esoteric Astrology. The Rays and the Initiations. Students are encouraged to download the free PDF version of this overview by following the link in the video's description, or to order a printed copy at cost from thebookpatch.com, but are advised to read the original, unabridged books in order to gain deeper insight into the Ageless wisdom. Students are also invited to join our online study group at facebook.com/groups/students of the Ageless wisdom. Chapter 3, A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. The Personality Ray and the First Fire. I. The work of the three rays. Each body or form wherein spirit functions has, for its focal point on each plane, an atom composed of matter of the atomic subplane of each plane. This serves as a nucleus for the distribution of force, for the conservation of faculty, for the assimilation of experience, and for the preservation of memory. These atoms are in direct connection with one or other of the three great rays in connection with the microcosm. The monadic ray, the synthetic ray of the microcosm. The egoic ray. The personality ray. Each of these rays has a connection with one or other of the permanent atoms in the lower threefold man, and has a direct action upon the spirale found within the atom. The relationship between these three rays and the permanent atoms might be summarized as follows. The personality ray has direct action upon the physical permanent atom. The egoic ray has a similar action upon the astral permanent atom. The monadic ray has a close connection with the mental unit. Each body in which a spirit functions has a focal point upon each plane called a permanent atom. The physical atom is linked to the personality ray, the astral atom to the egoic ray and the mental to the monadic ray. 2. The personality ray and the permanent atoms. The personality ray concerns the first four spirale, egoic the fifth and sixth, monadic the seventh. By life upon the physical plane, that life wherein the physical permanent atom has its full demonstration, the matter is arranged and separated that must eventually be built into the Temple of Solomon, the egoic body, through the agency of the egoic life, the second aspect. In the quarry of the personal life are the stones prepared for the great temple. In existence upon the physical plane and in the objective personal life is that experience gained which demonstrates as faculty in the ego. 3. The personality ray and karma. The karma of matter itself is an abstruse subject and has as yet scarcely been hinted at. It is nevertheless indissoluble mixed up with the karma of the individual. It involves a control of the evolution of the monadic essence, the elemental essence and of the atomic matter of the plane. It is concerned with the development of the four spirale, with their activity, with their attachment to forms when atomic, and with the development of the inner latent heat and its gradual fiery increase until we have within the atom a repetition of what is seen within the causal body, the destruction of the periphery of the atom by the means of burning. Everything is, in its totality, the result of action taken by cosmic essences and entities in earlier solar systems which is working out through the individual atoms, and through those congeries of atoms which we call forms. The effect of the personality ray upon the internal fires is therefore, in effect, the result of the influence of the planetary logos of whatever ray is implicated, as he works out that portion of karma which falls to his share in any one cycle, greater or lesser. He thus brings about and eventually transmutes the effects of causes which he set in motion earlier in relation to his 6 brothers, the other planetary logo. End of page 12. Karma involves the evolution of monadic and elemental essence of the plane and concerns the development of the 4 spiralae, and the eventual destruction of the periphery by means of burning. Karma concerns the building of matter into forms by the interaction of rays 2 and 3, thereby producing that fire by friction that promotes evolution. Everything is, in its totality, the result of action taken by cosmic essences and entities in earlier solar systems, which is working out through individual atoms and the groups of atoms called forms. The etheric body and prana. The nature of the etheric body. In days to come it will be realized that the health of man is dependent upon the health of all allied evolutions, and upon the cooperative action and full expression of the matter of the planet and of the planetary elemental who is himself a composite manifestation of the physical elementals of all manifested nature. In the study of the etheric body and prana lies the revelation of the effects of those rays of the sun which we will call solar pranic emanations. These solar pranic emanations are the produced effect of the central heat of the sun approaching other bodies within the solar system by one of the 3 main channels of contact, and producing on the bodies then contacted certain effects differing somewhat from those produced by the other emanations. Emanative prana does little in connection with form building, that is not its province, but it conserves the form through the preservation of the health of its component parts. Other rays of the sun act differently, upon the forms and upon their substance. Some perform the work of the destroyer of forms, and others carry on the work of cohering and of attracting. The work of the destroyer and of the preserver is carried on under the law of attraction and repulsion. Some rays definitely produce accelerated motion, others produce retardation. The ones we are dealing with here, pranic solar emanations, work within the 4 ethers, that matter which, though physical, is not as yet objectively visible to the eye of man. They are the basis of all physical plane life considered solely in connection with the life of the physical plane atoms of matter, their inherent heat and their rotary motion. These emanations are the basis of that fire by friction which demonstrates in the activity of matter. Finally, in the study of the etheric body and prana comes comprehension of the method of logoic manifestation, and therefore much of interest to the metaphysician, and all abstract thinkers. The etheric body of man holds hid the secret of his objectivity. It has its correspondence on the archetypal plane, the plane we call that of the divine manifestation, the first plane of our solar system, the planetary. Its purpose and description. The etheric body has been described as a network, permeated with fire, or as a web, animated with golden light. It is spoken of in the Bible as the golden bowl. It is a composition of that matter of the physical plane which we call etheric, and its shape is brought about by the fine interlacing strands of this matter being built by the action of the lesser builders into the form or mold upon which later the dense physical body can be molded. Under the law of attraction, the denser matter of the physical plane is made to cohere to this vitalized form, and is gradually built up around it, and within it, until the interpenetrating is so complete that the 2 forms make but one unit, the pranic emanations of the etheric body itself play upon the dense physical body in the same manner as the pranic emanations of the sun play upon the etheric body. It is all one vast system of transmission and of interdependence within the system. All receive in order to give, and to pass on to that which is lesser or not so evolved. Upon every plane this process can be seen. Thus the etheric body forms the archetypal plane in relation to the dense physical body. The thinker on his own plane stands, in relation to the physical, as the logos to his system. In the synthesis of thought it might be expressed thus: the thinker on the astral plane, the plane of desire and of necessity, stands to the physical body as the logos on the cosmic astral plane stands to his system. End of page 13. 8 statements. 1. The etheric body is the mold of the physical body. 2. The etheric body is the archetype of the physical body, whether the form of a solar system, or of a human body in any one incarnation. 3. The etheric body is a network of fine interlacing channels, formed of matter of the four ethers, and built into a specific form. It forms a focal point for certain radiatory emanations which stimulate the rotary action of matter. 4. When focused and received, pranic emanations react upon the dense matter that has been attracted to the etheric framework. 5. This etheric web, in the microcosm and macrocosm, forms a barrier between the physical and astral planes during incarnation, but can ultimately be transcended through consciousness. 6. In all bodies, whether human, planetary or solar, there will be found an organ which acts as the receiver of prana and its dense physical correspondence. 7. When the will to live vanishes, when the thinker withdraws his attention, physical plane existence will cease. 8. The latent fire of the atom remains, but the form is made by two fires, active and latent, aided by the second logos, and when they are separated, the form falls apart. Correspondences for the planes. Physical subplanes, solar system planes, correspondences. 1. First ether, atomic plane AD. Divine, sea of fire. First cosmic ether. 2. Second ether, subatomic anupadeka. Monadic plane, akasha. Second cosmic ether. 3. Third ether, super etheric atmic. Spiritual plane, ether. Third cosmic ether. 4. Fourth ether, supergaseous buddhic. Intuitional plane, air. Fourth cosmic ether. Dense physical planes of humanity. 5. Gaseous, sub-ether mental fire. Cosmic gaseous. 6. Liquid astral. Emotional plane, water. Cosmic liquid. 7. Earthly physical. Dense, earth. Cosmic dense. Prana of the solar system. The solar system. Entity manifesting the solar logos. Body of manifestation, the solar system. Receptive center pole of the central sun. Surface radiation or emanation, solar prana. Movement produced systemic rotation. Distributive effect, solar etheric radiation. Felt cosmically. End of page 14. The planet. Entity manifesting a planetary logos. Body of manifestation a planet. Receptive center the planetary pole. Surface radiation or emanation planetary prana. Movement produced planetary rotation. Distributive effect planetary etheric radiation. Felt within the system. A human being. Entity manifesting the thinker, a Dhyanchahan. Body of manifestation physical body. Receptive center the spleen. Surface radiation or emanation health aura. Movement produced atomic rotation. Distributive effect human etheric radiation. Felt by environment. The atom of matter. Entity manifesting an elementary life. Body of manifestation the atomic sphere. Receptive center pole of the atom. Surface radiation or emanation contribution of atom to the united health aura of body. Movement produced atomic rotation. Distributive effect atomic etheric radiation. Felt within the physical form. The nature of prana. We have seen that the etheric body formed the foundation of the dense physical form, and in itself constituted a most important link between 1. Physical man, and the emotional or astral plane. 2. Planetary man, and essential emotional quality. 3. The Logos, the grand heavenly man, and the cosmic astral plane. We might now narrow the subject down to the consideration of the etheric body of the human being and not touch upon correspondences to things systemic or cosmic at all, though it may be necessary to remind ourselves that for the wise student the line along which wisdom comes is the interpretative one, he who knows himself, in objective manifestation, essential quality, and comprehensive development, knows likewise the Lord of his ray, and the Logos of his system. It is only then a matter of application, conscious expansion, and intelligent interpretation, coupled to a wise abstention from dogmatic assertion, and a recognition that the correspondence lies in quality and method more than in detailed adherence to a specified action at any given time in evolution. End of page 15. 1. Solar prana. This is that vital and magnetic fluid which radiates from the sun, and which is transmitted to man's etheric body through the agency of certain deva entities of a very high order, and of a golden hue. It is passed through their bodies and emitted as powerful radiations, which are applied direct through certain plexi in the uppermost part of the etheric body, the head and shoulders, and passed down to the etheric correspondence of the physical organ, the spleen, and from thence forcibly transmitted into the spleen itself. These golden-hued pranic entities are in the air above us, and are specially active in such parts of the world as California, in those tropical countries where the air is pure and dry, and the rays of the sun are recognized as being specially beneficial. These solar devas take the radiatory rays of the sun which reach from its center to the periphery along one of the three channels of approach, pass them through their organism and focalize them there. Relations between man and this group of devas are very close, but fraught as yet with much danger to man. These devas are of a very powerful order, and, along their own line, are further evolved than man himself. Unprotected man lies at their mercy, and in this lack of protection, and man's failure to understand the laws of magnetic resistance, or of solar repulsion comes, for instance, the menace of sunstroke. 2. Planetary prana. This is the vital fluid emanated from any planet, which constitutes its basic coloring or quality, and is produced by a repetition within the planet of the same process which is undergone in connection with man and solar prana. The planet, the Earth, or any other planet, absorbs solar prana, assimilates what is required, and radiates off that which is not essential to its well-being in the form of planetary radiation. Planetary prana, therefore, is solar prana which has passed throughout the planet, has circulated through the planetary etheric body, has been transmitted to the dense physical planet, and has been cast off thence in the form of a radiation of the same essential character as solar prana, plus the individual and distinctive quality of the particular planet concerned. This again repeats the process undergone in the human body. The physical radiations of men differ according to the quality of their physical bodies. So it is with a planet. Planetary emanative prana, as in the case of solar prana, is caught up and transmitted via a particular group of devas, called the devas of the shadows, who are ethereal devas of a slightly violet hue. Their bodies are composed of the matter of one or other of the four ethers, and they focalize and concentrate the emanations of the planet, and of all forms upon the planet. They have a specially close connection with human beings owing to the fact of the essential resemblance of their bodily substance to man's etheric substance, and because they transmit to him the magnetism of Mother Earth, as it is called. There are two groups of devas working in connection with man. A. Solar devas, who transmit the vital fluid which circulates in the etheric body. B. Planetary devas of a violet color, who are allied to man's etheric body, and who transmit Earth's prana, or the prana of whichever planet man may be functioning upon during a physical incarnation. 3. The prana of forms. It must first be pointed out that forms are necessarily of two kinds, each having a different place in the scheme. A. Forms that are the result of the work of the third and the second logos, and their united life. Such forms are the units in the vegetable, animal and mineral kingdoms. B. Forms that are the result of the united action of the three logo, and comprise the strictly deva and human forms. There is also the still simpler form embodied in the substance of which all the other forms are made. This matter is strictly speaking the atomic and molecular matter, and is animated by the life or energy of the third logos. In dealing with the first group of forms, it must be noted that the pranic emanations given off by units of the animal and vegetable kingdom, after they have absorbed both solar and planetary prana, are naturally a combination of the two, and are transmitted by means of surface radiation, as in solar and planetary prana, to certain lesser groups of devas of a not very high order, who have a curious and intricate relationship to the group soul of the radiating animal or vegetable. End of page 16. In dealing with the second group, the human form transmits the emanative radiations to a much higher grade of deva. These devas are of a more pronounced hue, and after due assimilation of the human radiation, they transmit it principally to the animal kingdom, thus demonstrating the close relationship between the two kingdoms. If the above explanation of the intricate interrelation between the sun and the planets, between the planets and the evolving forms upon them, between the forms themselves in ever-descending importance demonstrates nothing more than the exquisite interdependence of all existences, then much will have been achieved. Lastly, all work with fire. Fire internal, inherent and latent, fire radiatory and emanative, fire generated, assimilated and radiated, fire vivifying, stimulating and destroying, fire transmitted, reflected, and absorbed, fire, the basis of all life, fire, the essence of all existence, fire, the means of development, and the impulse behind all evolutionary process, fire, the builder, the preserver, and the constructor, fire, the originator, the process and the goal, fire the purifier and the consumer. Macrocosmic and microcosmic correspondences. The macrocosm. Subjective expression. First logos fire, electric the will to live or to be. Second logos heat, solar duality, or love between two. Third logos motion, fire by friction the fire of mind, the relation between. The macrocosm. Objective expression. The sun will or power. Venus Mercury love and wisdom. Saturn activity or intelligence. The microcosm. Subjective expression. The monad electric fire will or power. The ego solar fire love and wisdom. The personality fire by friction activity or intelligence. The microcosm. Objective expression. The mental body will or power fire. The astral body love wisdom heat. The physical body active intelligence motion. Physical body. The brain monad will or power. Electric fire. The heart ego love wisdom. Solar fire. Lower organs personality active intelligence. Fire by friction. End of page 17. End of chapter 3.